In the summer of 2013, a tall, quiet boy from Madrid walked out of the Atletico Madrid academy with his dreams in pieces. He was 16. The club that had taken him in at 11, the club he called home, had decided he was not strong enough, not physical enough, not ready. They released him. Lack of physical strength, they said. Rodrigo Hernandez Cascante, the boy the world would one day simply call Rodri, left the red and white training ground carrying the weight of rejection. 13 years later, on a warm night in New Jersey in July 2026, that same boy stood on the pitch at MetLife Stadium as captain of Spain. He lifted the FIFA World Cup trophy. He had just been named the tournament's best player, the Golden Ball winner. Spain had beaten Argentina 1-0 in the final. The boy Atletico threw away had become a World Cup champion. This is the story of how that happened. Rodrigo Hernandez Cascante was born on June 22, 1996 in Madrid. He grew up in the northwest of the city, in the working-class areas around Majadahonda. Football was everywhere. His first club was CF Rayo Majadahonda. There, as a small, intelligent midfielder, he stood out not for power but for vision. He saw the game before others did. He kept the ball moving. He rarely wasted a pass. In 2007, at the age of 11, Atletico Madrid took him into their academy. For a Madrid kid who supported the red and white side of the city, it felt like destiny. The Atletico Academy has always been a place of intensity, of grit, of players who fight for every ball. Rodri fitted the culture in spirit even if his body was still developing. Coaches noticed the calmness under pressure, the ability to receive in tight spaces, the way he dictated tempo without shouting. Yet the physical side lagged. At 14, 15, 16, he had not yet hit his growth spurt. In an era when Spanish academies still prized physical readiness, especially for central midfielders expected to dominate duels, doubts grew. Some coaches believed in him. Others looked at the numbers on the pitch and the tape measure and shook their heads. By 2013, the decision was made. Atletico released him. The official reasons circulated quietly: lack of physical strength. In later years, Rodri would speak about it without bitterness but with clear memory. He felt the club's trust draining. After a year of limited opportunities, he took the hard decision to leave. Villarreal, with its excellent youth system and reputation for developing technical players, offered a path. He went. At Villarreal, the body finally caught up with the mind. Almost overnight, it seemed, Rodri shot up. The skinny teenager became a 1.90-meter presence. The extra inches and the added strength transformed him. What had been a clever passer became a complete midfielder, one who could protect the back four, break lines with progressive passes, and still dominate the physical battles that once seemed beyond him. He progressed through the ranks quickly. In February 2015, still a junior, he made his senior debut for Villarreal B. Months later came the first team call. December 2015, Copa del Rey appearance. Then, in April 2016, his La Liga debut. Marcelino Garcia Toral saw the potential and gave him minutes. By the 2017-18 season, Rodri was a regular starter. 36 league appearances. Calm, reliable, increasingly indispensable. Spain's youth teams took notice. He won the 2015 European Under-19 Championship. The same intelligence that had marked him as a child now operated on a bigger stage. He still studied business administration, balancing books and balls with a seriousness that teammates found almost old-fashioned. No social media noise, no headlines, just work. Villarreal had given him the platform Atletico had withdrawn. The boy who had been told he lacked strength was now one of La Liga's most promising defensive midfielders. In the summer of 2018, Atletico came back. The club that had released him offered a path home. A fee in the region of 20 to 25 million euros was agreed with Villarreal. Rodri signed a 5-year deal. For the player, it felt like unfinished business and a dream fulfilled at the same time. Atletico is my house, he would later say. It is where the illusion of becoming a professional began. Under Diego Simeone, he learned a different language of the game. Simeone demanded competitiveness, aggression, the willingness to be the bad boy when required. Rodri absorbed it. In one season, he made 47 appearances across all competitions. He won the UEFA Super Cup against Real Madrid in Tallinn. He established himself as a starter in a side that finished second in La Liga. The physical doubts of his youth were gone. The technical quality remained. The competitive edge had been sharpened. Yet the stay would be short. Pep Guardiola and Manchester City had been watching. In July 2019, City met the release clause, reported at around £62.6 million, a record for a Spanish player at the time. Rodri left again. This time, the decision was professional rather than forced by rejection. He spoke of gratitude to Atletico and to Simeone, but the call from Guardiola was too strong to ignore. At Manchester City, the final transformation took place. Guardiola's system demanded a midfielder who could control the tempo of matches, receive under pressure, and recycle possession with surgical precision. Rodri was built for it. He arrived as a promising talent. Within seasons, he became the team's silent heartbeat. The trophies followed: Premier League titles, domestic cups, then the night that defined a generation of City players. June 10, 2023, Istanbul, Champions League final against Inter. Rodri scored the only goal, a controlled finish after a patient build-up. City had their first European Cup. The treble was complete. Rodri was named Player of the Match and later Player of the Tournament. In 2024, he became the first Manchester City player to win the Ballon d'Or. The quiet midfielder from Madrid, the one once released for lacking strength, stood on the stage as the best player in the world. He continued to win. For Premier League titles in his time at the Club World Cup, the Super Cup, 14 major trophies in 7 seasons, nearly 300 appearances, goals from deep, assists that unlocked packed defenses, and above all, the ability to make the complicated look simple. Guardiola often spoke of his importance. When Rodri played, City controlled games. When he was absent, the structure frayed. Opponents knew it. Analysts knew it. Fans came to understand that the tall Spaniard in the number 16 shirt was the fulcrum around which the team's dominance turned. Internationally, the story ran in parallel. Rodri made his senior Spain debut in March 2018 against Germany. He grew into the side under successive coaches. Luis de la Fuente, who had known him from youth levels, trusted him completely. In 2023, Spain won the UEFA Nations League. Rodri was named Player of the Finals. In 2024, they conquered the European Championship in Germany. Rodri was named Player of the Tournament. The midfield of Spain, calm, progressive, dominant, had a clear center. He completed passes by the 100. He broke lines. He shielded the defense. He rarely lost the ball. Then came 2026, the World Cup in Canada, Mexico, and the United States. Spain arrived as European champions and as one of the favorites. Rodri was captain. The pressure was immense. Argentina, the defending champions, stood in the way of history. Spain's campaign was a masterclass in control. Rodri completed more passes than any player in World Cup history in a single tournament, records that shattered previous marks set by Xavi and by Rodri himself in 2022. He carried the ball further than anyone. He featured in every match. In the semi-final against France, Spain's structure held firm. In the final against Argentina at MetLife Stadium, Rodri's presence helped limit the opposition to virtually no shots on target. Spain won 1-0. On the pitch, as captain, Rodri lifted the trophy. FIFA named him the Golden Ball winner, the best player of the tournament, the first Spanish winner of that award since its modern form. He joined an exclusive group of players who had won the World Cup, the European Championship, the Champions League, and the Ballon d'Or. Boy released by Atletico in 2013 for lacking physical strength had, at 30, conquered every major stage football offers. What made Rodri different was never only the physical recovery or the technical gifts. It was the temperament. He studied while building a career. He stayed largely off social media. He spoke with measured honesty rather than sound bites. When he talked about Atletico, he called it his house even after the pain of rejection and the later departure. When he talked about Guardiola, he credited the coach with unlocking his full potential. When he talked about success, he pointed to work, patience, and the people around him. Teammates described a leader who led by example rather than volume. Opponents described a midfielder who made the game look slower for everyone else while accelerating it for his own side. Coaches described a player who understood space, time, and responsibility in ways that cannot be coached from scratch. The rejection at 16 could have broken him. Instead, it became part of the foundation. At Villarreal, he grew. At Atletico, under Simeone, he hardened. At City, under Guardiola, he refined. With Spain, he delivered on the biggest stages of all. By August 2026, weeks after the World Cup final, Rodri's club career took another turn. After 7 seasons at Manchester City, he completed a move to Barcelona. The circle of Spanish football continued to turn. Real Madrid had been linked. He had spoken openly about the possibility of returning to Madrid one day, noting that having played for Atletico did not close the door. In the end, the Catalan club secured him. Yet the defining image remains the one from New Jersey. Rodri in the red of Spain, trophy raised, golden ball in hand. The journey from the academy pitches of Majadahonda and the Atletico youth system, through the quiet development at Villarreal, the return and second departure from the Metropolitano, the dominance at the Etihad, the European title, the Ballon d'Or, and finally the World Cup as captain and best player. Football is full of stories of late developers, of players who were discarded and then proved the world wrong. Few are as complete as this one. Atletico Madrid threw away a boy who lacked the physical profile they wanted at the time. That boy became a man who controlled the midfield of the best club side of his era and then led his country to the ultimate prize. In 2013, a teenager left the Atletico Academy carrying doubt. In 2026, a captain stood in the middle of a World Cup final pitch carrying a trophy and the golden ball. Between those two moments lay years of quiet growth, hard lessons, tactical education, and relentless consistency. Rodri never needed to shout about the rejection. He answered it on the pitch, pass by pass, trophy by trophy, until the night Spain became world champions again, and the boy they once said was not strong enough was named the best player on earth. From a boy Atletico threw away to World Cup champion 2026. That is the story of Rodrigo Hernandez Cascante. That is the story of Rodri.